Alright y'all, I'm going to put new seats in my Hobie Mirage Outbacks. Now maybe you've seen the 30 miles out video on YouTube where they went over to Walmart and they managed to find one of these beach chairs like this for 15 bucks and it just dropped right in. Well, I went to the Walmart, they didn't have those chairs, so I went to the next box store and I bought this one. Of course it's 1 inch out. You know, always got a problem with that last inch. You know how that works. So you know you're getting the right brand. That's it right there, a Copa Beach Sport and Surf Chair. Now the first thing I did is where I want the chair to set. I kind of measured it and eyeballed it. This is not rocket science and there is no engineering here to it. It's going to be a little bit of artwork right there. What I did is measured 4 inches from the bottom up, or to be more exact, see that screw? The bottom side of that screw to that mark is 3.5 inches. So I'm going to cut these off both sides and then we're going to fit it and see, you know, where we're at and how it's looking. If you notice on this chair you got your armrest. I want that armrest level with the boat. On the bottom of the legs I sawed off, I'm going to be installing these T's. It's 3/4 inch pipe, 3/4 inch T. I put a nipple in the T. See how tight that is? So when I put that epoxy in there, it's going to lock down. It's not real sloppy like this, so I'm not going to have a bunch of movement. Be able to put that in there and squish it in with all the epoxy, 2,000 pound epoxy, and that's going to make it one unit. We're going to glue these like this. The deal is that the metal going into here, I'm going to have to epoxy it. Now I have to put a stop in here so I just don't have epoxy running and filling all this up, otherwise I won't get a good bind. I got to make it stick. What I'm going to do is squirt silicone, about 2-3 inches of silicone into this cross member and this cross member. And that'll give me a cup right here. And on this end, I'm going to put another nipple like this, and I'm going to fill it with silicone. So this way I can fill this cup full of that 2,000 pound epoxy, shove in the metal, the excess will squeeze out the top, I can wipe it off, and then it'll set, and then it'll be one piece. So don't forget that, very important, otherwise you'll be adding epoxy and it'll have to fill this whole thing up and add a whole bunch of weight that you don't need. It's just one of those things that you'll remember it after you start doing it and then go, ah, damn. Like this. Of course, you got the world's worst grease gun, or caulking gun, I should say. Now on the T's, this is the outboard side of the boat on the chair. This little lip is going to set down on the rail of the boat. It's just going to give it a little extra. But I'm also going to use it to fill with silicone. That's going to make a plug. So now I got a plug here. When I put that pipe in, there'll be a plug here with silicone. All I have to do is fill that with the epoxy, shove in the metal, and we're there. And then just let it set up. Now you can see the plug of silicone I put in there. I did not run it all the way to the middle. Because that metal is going to go all the way down in there. So, and maybe you could even actually use the silicone to connect the metal to the PVC. I'm using some 2,000 pound epoxy that has never failed me, so that's what I'm going to do. You can look down in there and see the blob of silicone. Now we're just going to let this dry, and I'll probably be finishing this all up tomorrow. This is what I'm going to epoxy that chair to the PVC with. Right here, 5 minute. They make some stuff that's 12 hour, whatever. I'm going to do all this tomorrow. I'm going to let that silicone dry so I got a good plug. And then we're going to go for broke. It looks like it's going to work really well. Silicone's dry. So let's bring this baby home. I'm going to go ahead and glue in the cross member, and then we're going to epoxy it to the chair. Okay y'all, what we're going to do now is fill this T up, probably about halfway. I'm not going to fill it completely up, it's just a waste of epoxy. But this is 5 minute epoxy, so I only have 5 minutes to mix it and get what I'm going to glue in it. Now we're going to let that set, and now there is a little bit of a gap around the top of the PVC and where the metal goes in, and I'm going to fill that with the PVC cement after this sets up. I'm going to go run some errands and stuff. This stuff is supposed to take 5 minutes to set up, but I'm going to give it like an hour, and then we'll do the final fitting. Check this out. Not bad for government work. Let's put it in the pool. Okay, the arms on the chair are parallel with the top of the boat. So it looks like it's going to be fairly comfortable. Let's go throw it in the pool. Wow. That's the chair build for the Outback, the Hobie Mirage Outback. As you saw me floundering around out there, it does make it a little top heavy. It's also, with the high back on it, you really can't reach around to grab some stuff out of the cooler. So you got to keep all that in mind. I think it's going to be a limited use chair for me. If it's real calm water and shallow water, I'll probably go for it. But deeper water with any chop, probably not going to use it. I know Hobie probably, they know exactly how to engineer things, and so having that lower center of gravity is probably key for not trying to, you know, flip over as much. So, but that's it. If you want to try it, give it a shot. You know, maybe set yours down a little lower in the Kayak. That would probably definitely help, but then you lose all the storage underneath the seat. You know, that's where I'm going to put all my stuff, is right under the seat. So anyway, y'all, just a thought, and it's something to do. Thanks for watching.